Hi guys, just checking if you can hear me and see me. Okay. Okay, so as we know that New South Wales has announced their occupation list and they have also updated some of their criteria. So a couple of weeks ago, they did update about their criteria, but they did not have the occupation list, but looks like they have added some more details about their nomination criteria and the eligibility. So let's first talk about the 190 visa. So for the 190 visa or 491, first you do need to have a positive skills assessment in your nominated occupation. Your occupation needs to be there on New South Wales occupation list. So they do have quite a few occupations on the 190 list as well. So I have actually made an Excel sheet for myself, which I'm happy to share with you all at the end of the video. So I've actually put all the occupations for each region and also for the 190. So for the 190, they have got about 100 occupations open, which is really good. But looks like they have updated their criteria. You know how before they said there is no minimum residence or work experience requirement, but now they want one of the two. So the main criteria, which is from the Department of Home Affairs, the first one is that you need to be under 45 years of age, you need to have a minimum of 65 points, competent English, positive skills assessment in your nominated occupation. And for New South Wales to be eligible for the to be eligible for the 190, you need to be currently employed in New South Wales, where your employment meets the standard of claiming skilled employment in your nominated occupation. So what it means is that you need to be working in your nominated occupation in New South Wales currently. So it doesn't say for how long. So even if you are even if you have been working there for a little while or recently, that is fine. Or have genuinely resided in New South Wales for a minimum period of 3 months. So in this one, they are not asking that you need to be working in your nominated occupation. What they are saying is that you need, as long as you're residing in New South Wales for a minimum of 3 months, they could still consider. So you have to meet one of these two criterias. Now somebody is asking me if chef is there. I actually did not get a chance to look at all the occupations. Yes, chef is there. Another thing I want to add here is for 190, even though the minimum requirement is 65, as you know that New South Wales 190 is a very, very competitive visa, like a very, very competitive nomination to get from New South Wales for 190, because most of the applicants you are competing with, they are usually sitting at high points. So yes, chef is available for 190, but you'll be looking at high points to be invited for a chef for a 190. But yes, it is there. So there are about 100 occupations, and like I said, I'm happy to share the sheet that I've created. I will post it in the comments later. Okay, so somebody is asking me, Sahil is asking if it is open for offshore. Unfortunately not. So I will get on to the 491 criteria as well in a moment. So yeah, so they have actually started a registration of interest process similar to Victoria as well, but that is not for 190. So don't get confused. That one is only for the 491 visa. Now let's talk a bit about the 491 nomination. So there are 3 streams at the moment. You know how before they said there will only be 2 streams, and I have explained to you in my previous videos before what the 2 streams are. But in this one, they have said that there will be 3. Now they have announced that there will be 3 streams. So the stream 1, which they always had, which is living and working in regional New South Wales from the last 12 months. So, you know, somebody who's been living and working there in their nominated occupation from last 12 months will be prioritized. So stream 1 is a priority stream. So, you know, if most of the seats go to stream 1, then, you know, they may not invite a lot of applicants from stream 2 or stream 3. For stream 2, you need to be the recent graduate. So as long as you have completed your studies in the last 2 years, and your university or provider was in the designated regional area of New South Wales, and while you were studying there, you were also living in regional New South Wales, then you could be eligible under stream 2. Now note here that they want that your studies need to be related to your nominated occupation. So let's say, for example, you are accountant, then they want that your degree is also accounting, or maybe business. It should be related. So let's say if you're applying under accountant, but what you have done is maybe relating to hospitality or something, that is not related. So that's something they have put in there, that your studies have to be related to your nominated occupation. Stream number 3, I am skilled in an occupation required in regional New South Wales. So doesn't matter where you are in Australia, so you have to be in Australia, you cannot be offshore, so they are not open for offshore at the moment. So as long as you are living in Australia, you have a skills assessment, minimum of 50 points, because they give you 15 points for a 491 visa, you could apply under stream 3. So you need to have a valid skills assessment, like I said, and be currently residing in Australian state or territory. Your occupation needs to be open as well in one of their regions. So you could maybe check where your occupation is open, and then you could apply under that RDA. Now, as you know that there are 14 RDAs in there. I'll quickly run down the nomination process as well, and then I can maybe even answer some of your questions. Okay, so first of all, you need to check if you are eligible under any of these streams. So you have to be eligible under one of these streams to apply for a 491. First, you will have to lodge the expression of interest in the skill select system. Third, you will have to do the registration of interest. So they have a form on their website. You will have to complete it, send it to them. It will have your EOI number as well. If you do get selected, so they do have like a submission window. So they said we've got August, then October, then I think it is again in January, and then March. So you can only apply for the registration of interest when they are open. It's similar to what Victoria did last financial year. Now they have said August, so I'm guessing all of August, which starts tomorrow. So all of August they are open, unless they update on Monday that no, we will be open maybe a month, maybe a week or 10 days. But looks like what they have published on their website, looks like they will be open whole month, so which is from tomorrow. So you'll have to put the registration of interest. They'll only pick your application if you lodge it within the registration of interest. Let's say this month you are not eligible, then the next time you can apply is in September, when they will open again. So between that time you cannot, not September, October. So again, you will have the opportunity to apply again in October when they reopen. So if still you're not eligible, then you will have the opportunity to apply in January or March. So it looks like they'll be open 4 times this year for the whole month, based on what I have got at the moment. So you need to be invited to apply from them, both for 190, 491. So once your registration of interest is selected, they give you 14 days to apply with that RDA. So usually you go through the nomination application. So it's a few steps process for that one. So yeah, so the submission window, like I said, month of August, October, January and March. Invitations to apply will be issued up to 7 days of the submission window closing. So once, let's say they close on the 30th of August, so then they may take up to 7 days to filter down the applicants they are going to apply, invite, and they will start sending invites after the 7 days. So they have very clearly mentioned how to apply for the registration of interest. So the registration of interest is basically your EOI, but they want you to pick what stream you're applying under, 1, 2 or 3. And they also want you to pick the RDA that you're applying under. And then you also have the option of choosing, a second RDA, like your preferred RDA. If what if the first one is not happy to give you the nomination, so can they pass on your application to different RDAs? So what's happening is all these RDAs are actually communicating this time, because I think what happened last time was that some applicants got invited from more than one RDA. So I think to make sure that it doesn't happen again, because when you are invited from 2 RDAs or 2 RDAs are ready to invite you, then there is a chance that one invite can get wasted. So I think it is a good way, because they communicate with each other, and then based on what RDAs you have selected and what their what their position is, you know, for the how many seats they've got and things like that, and based on that they will invite you. So quite straightforward registration of interest. So make sure that the stream that you choose, you do choose it carefully, because if you pick the wrong stream, then you won't get invited, you know. So make sure that you are picking the right stream with that one. I think a few more things I wanted to tell you. Yeah, so with the stream 1, that 1 year, you know how they want that 12 months living and working. So it doesn't have to be full time. It can be 20 hours as well. For 12 months, you could still apply. Again, they have said, you know, they have said that the time that selected candidates under stream 1 have been living and working in regional New South Wales will vary. So let's say you're not working and living there for 12 months. Maybe you've been doing that for 10 months. Still, you know, they may consider, but it will depend on how many candidates they get. So if you don't actually meet the 12 months requirement, you are better off applying under stream 3. Okay, so under stream 3, they have actually meant, because there is a FAQ there, and the question is, how are candidates selected? New South Wales will determine and select the most suitable candidates under this stream according to a range of factors, which include but not limited to skilled employment experience, current employment, and residency. So yeah, so looks like if you are somebody who's got more experience than, you know, the other applications they have got, you have chances of getting invited under stream 3. So even if you're somebody who is not living in New South Wales, living in another state, or let's say even because you have low points, you cannot go for 190, you are living in Sydney, you could still apply under stream 3. I'm overseas, can I register my interest in New South Wales nomination under stream 3? No, you must be currently residing in Australia to be eligible to register your interest in New South Wales nomination. So this is what I wanted to cover in the video. I'm happy to take some of your questions. Let me see. No, Bijal, unfortunately, no chances for offshore at the moment, but this may change. At the moment, they have said no for offshore applicants. Okay, is software tester possibilities in New South Wales? Yeah, look, you'll have to check, because I actually did not get the time to go through all the occupations, but I have created like a Excel sheet. So you will have to go on the 491 occupation list and check under each region, or you could download the sheet when I'll post it and see if your occupation is available. So if the occupation is available, definitely you can apply under stream 3 if you're not in regional New South Wales. Sent my 190 EY 2 weeks ago when residency criteria was no minimum time frame. Will it be based on old residency criteria or new criteria? For I think they will be looking at new criteria. So you have been in New South Wales 1 month, but if you're working in your occupations, you still have a chance. How many points for chefs approximately? So if you're considering 190, I would say 85, 90, I don't know, because too many chefs waiting as well. But yeah, above 80, you could try for a 190 as well. If I'm working from home in Melbourne, the company is in Sydney, am I eligible or not? No, you should actually move there. Probably move there and start working there. Then yes, then you will have a chance, because if your employer is already based in Sydney, what are you doing in Melbourne? Like Melbourne, unless you have good chances in Melbourne, then I don't know. But you know, if you have better chances in Sydney, you're sitting in New South Wales and you're sitting at high points, you're better off moving there because your employer is there anyway. Can BVA with no work right condition holder be able to apply for ROI 491 New South Wales? Depends on a lot of things. Are you section 48 barred? you know, why you don't have work rights. Can you get work rights? Because at the moment I think BBA holders have been successful in getting work rights. So probably get work rights. If you have a skills assessment and everything, there is still a chance, but you may have to speak to me because you have a bit of a different situation. Okay, living from 11 months in Hunter region. Is the mechanical engineer in the list? Let's have a look. Yes, it is. So if you have been living there for 12 months, but depends how long you have been working in your occupation. I think I missed your chat. Yeah, so if you're not working in your nominated occupation but living there from 11 months, go for stream 3. But the fact that you have been living there for so long, for about 11 months, you have a good chance under stream 3. Do we need job offer letter for stream 3? No, you don't, but you'll be competing with a lot of people. So if you have something like a, you know, if you have a job and you can move there and still apply under stream 3, you'll have better chances compared to people who are applying from other states. Do I need to have an employment skills assessment to claim 5 points for 1 year experience under accounting? I would. I never lodge EYs and claim points where I don't have the employment assessment. It's just something that I prefer doing. I have just moved in Newcastle recently and got a job as RN. Which stream is the best for me? If you recently moved there, stream 3. Is there a scope of marketing? You'll really have to check if the occupation is there. Just having a look. Really can't see it, but have to go through under 14 regions. So probably go through their website. If it is there, then you have a chance. Working in RDA Sydney as chef, 65 points, working from past 10 months with positive skills assessment. That is excellent. Let me just have a look at RDA Sydney. Yeah, so your occupation is there, probably 10 months. You could try under stream 1, I would say, but yeah, have a chat to me before you do that. Can we apply for closely related occupation for Northern Territory from offshore? Have to check. Yeah, I may get back to you later on this one because I just want to look at, just want to answer questions relating to New South Wales. Early childhood teacher, 190. Let's have a look. Yeah, it is there. So just apply if you're there. So the occupation is available for 190. So for 190 visa also applications open in August and October. No, 190 you can have your EY in the system. So even if you had your EYs in the system already, that's fine. They work differently from the 491 nomination. For 491 offshore who got invited back in September 2020, paid visa fees, is there any chance that they won't get visa because they're offshore? As long as you meet all the requirements for the visa, I don't see it as an issue, but because you're offshore, yeah, there is a delay. But yeah, so even if you were onshore, it could still get refused if let's say you have claimed excessive points or some information is not correct, or you don't meet the character and health requirements. It could still get refused. Doesn't matter you're offshore or onshore, so the criteria is the same. But if you meet all those requirements, it should be okay. But because you're offshore, yes, there is long processing time. RN in Hunter region. Yes, it is open, so you could try there. I don't have work in my field and only been in New South Wales for 1 month. Should I withdraw my 190 EY? If you have only been there for 1 month, I'll have to look at your EY, because see, your EY is like your resume. So if they don't say that you have been there 3 months, they may not even pick it up anyway. So you could either withdraw it and wait 3 months and then lodge it, or you could just leave it in there, but really depends how you have lodged the EOI. Okay, I've completed my bachelor's in IT in Sydney and living here for 3.5 years. I'm planning to move ACT. Is it better there or should I stick to New South Wales? I'm not working in my field, planning to undertake PY. So I think you're planning to go to ACT, do the professional year program to get some points for studying in ACT. ACT, they keep changing their occupation list as well. So you know how in New South Wales, the occupation list is here. And mostly the occupation list stays the same for the whole year. But you've still got another year. By the time you get your skills assessment, things would have changed back again in New South Wales. Yeah, if you want to try an ACT, that's okay, because New South Wales, you need high points anyway. So unless you are sitting at high points, you're better off getting out of Sydney. Mandeep is asking, please explain stream 1, 2, and 3. So I've already explained those 3 streams. So because I will be posting this video on my YouTube and Facebook as well. So you could go back and probably watch it later. So yes, accounting is also open in some of the regions. So you may have to see which regions they are open. So another thing is you also have to check, because the occupation list for stream 1, which is living and working in regional New South Wales, is different. And then each RDA has their own occupation list for stream 2 and 3. So just be careful with that one, that which stream you're applying for. And if you're applying under 2 or 3, you will have to check the RDA you're applying under if your occupation is there. For stream 1, different occupation list. Okay, I'm an electrician working in Sydney for last 4 years. Currently I have 80 points. So electrician. So electricians are open. The occupation is open for 190 as well. And if you are sitting at 80 points, I'm hoping that you have skills assessment and everything, you can go for 190. I think you, with 80 points, electrician's not a very competitive occupation, go for 190. I'm studying Masters in Telecommunications Engineering in New South Wales. What is my chances in New South Wales? So you haven't mentioned if you are studying in Sydney or regional, because if you're studying in regional New South Wales, then you know how they have a stream 2, that if you have studied there for 2 years, they will consider your application. Okay, I have lodged my PR with 90 points in New South Wales, and it's almost 6 months that I have applied. May I know, when can I expect my 190 invitation? I'm not sure what your occupation is and if you meet the requirements or not. So usually New South Wales 190, it's a very, very competitive process. So if your occupation is the one which is, highly competitive, then the only reason I can think of is that you haven't been invited. If you meet the requirements, is because there were other applicants who had higher points than you. Okay, New South Wales 190 onshore construction project manager with 75 points, living more than 2 years, with study in New South Wales. Okay, construction project manager. The construction managers are on there, but you have 75 points. But then I think this occupation is not very competitive. Not sure if you have already lodged your UI, but I think you should try this time. Okay, when is Queensland going to open nominations? We don't know. We are waiting. So I'm hoping maybe next week or the week after next, because they were supposed to open in July, but they haven't. Okay, any chance for enrolled nurse? I'm offshore. No, not at the moment, but this may change in the future. IT business analyst, South Australia, 80 points, residing in Adelaide. When can I expect the 190? Any good chances on show? So the points are okay, but you know, for business analyst, I know we are going a bit off topic, but for business analyst, you do need a work experience. So if you are after a 190, so I think they want 18 months if you're in Adelaide, and outside Adelaide they want 12 months work experience if you're after a 190. So if you meet that requirement, then you have a good chance. What course would you recommend studying? Masters of Social Work or Masters of Teaching Secondary in New South Wales? I don't know, maybe Masters of Teaching Secondary. The reason, both are actually really good. The reason I would choose Masters of Teaching is because for Masters of Social Work, you need 7 each IELTS academic. But for Masters of Teaching, you need even higher points than that. So you're already cutting down your competition in that occupation. So I think teachers have a good scope. Advanced Diploma, Telecommunications, Network Engineering, any chance? Really depends what your situation is, but because this occupation is, the occupation outcome of your studies is on the MLTSSL. So yes, that's, yeah, depends. So when you'll study, just maybe when you'll finish your studies, so just maybe 6 months before you're about to finish your studies, you may want to check if you're in the right state or if you have to make a move. So I don't know how much studies you have done. Did Queensland open for 491 today? No, they did not. Okay guys, I think I will just have to wind it up now. So yeah, like I said, I will be posting the Excel sheet that I have created with all the state occupation lists. So I will put it shortly under in the comments, and hopefully that will help you. And if you need any help with your expression of interest, we will be back in the office on Monday. So just make sure that probably email us if you are somebody who is already eligible and would need help with lodging your expression of interest. So we can help you on Monday. Take care. Bye bye.